Chavzayin Amud Bet, we're starting from Chavzayin Amud Aleph on the bottom. Chavzayin Amud Aleph, 8 lines from the bottom. Rav, 8 lines from the bottom of Chavzayin Amud Aleph. Rav, those who weren't here for a week getting small, no. Rav Ikla Lebe Gniva, Rav came to the house of Gniva, that's Gniva, Vetzali, Shel Shabbat, Be'erev Shabbat, and he prayed Shel Shabbat on Friday, meaning before Shkia. Ve'ave Masli Rabir Me'e Baraba Le'achore. Rabir Me'e Baraba, his student, was davening behind them, Le'achore de Rav. Ve'siyem Rav, and Rav finished the tefillah, ve'los paske le'tzalute, and he didn't stop his tefillah. The Rabir Me'e behind him. So Rav was praying on Friday before sunset, tefillat of Shabbat. Rabir Me'e Barab was behind them. When Rav finished, he didn't reverse and bump into him, meaning he was waiting for him till Rabir Me'e will finish the tefillah. Shma Mineh, you learn from this story, Tlat Shma Mineh, 3 halachot. Number 1, מתפלל אדם של שבת בערב שבת. You can pray of Shabbat on earlier, which is still Friday. ושמע מינא מתפלל תמיד אחורי רבו, a student can daven behind his Rebbe. ושמע מינא אסור לעבור כנגד המתפללים. Not allowed to pass when someone is davening. Sound familiar? Yes, make sure to practice it. מסייע לרבי יהושע בן לוי, that's a proof to רבי יהושע בן לוי. דומה רבי יהושע בן לוי, אסור לעבור כנגד מתפללים. רבי יהושע בן לוי said, you're not allowed to cross people who are praying. It's not true. והרבי ירמיה ורבי אסי חלפי. Rabbi Ami and Asi were passing, when people were praying, they were still passing in front of them. גמרא אמצו, רבי עמי ורבי אסי חוץ לארבע אמות, ודחלפי 4 אמות away from the davener, they used to pass by, not in front of someone who's davening. ורבי ירמיה, okay, so הלכה למעשה, we know that when somebody is davening, you're not supposed to pass within 4 אמות, unless he has a מחיצה 10 טפחים. So the Chazan, who daven at the bima, you can pass through. Because the bima is mechitza of 10 tfachim. It's more than that.
The height.
Huh?
Can you walk in front of him?
Yeah, in front of the Chazan.
So height has to be 10 tfachim now.
The height 10 tfachim, yeah. Not wide. Somebody very fat doesn't help. And also, wide, meaning our head. So we said the height is supposed to be 10 tfachim, 10 tfachim. The length, the mechitza ו10 tfachim, you can go through. Our chairs and table are not 10 tfachim because they are the height is below the height. 10 tfachim, our tables are 30 inch height, and 10 tfachim is 36 point something. So our table and chairs are not considered as mechitza. So you cannot pass somebody with table and a chair. But however, if you have 4 amot, you can pass. So if you have 4 amot distance, you can pass. The Arizal says, according to Kabbalah, don't pass in front of anybody at all.
Right.
So it's all depends.
One or the other? Either 4 amot or 10 amot? Meaning like
4 amot or 10 tfachim height, yeah. Arizal said, either way do not pass. Even if it's mechitza, because you're in front of his shina, and always behind him. Since Shoroshim, we are makpid to stick to your lines and not to go. And usually I come and I see people who are praying, off on the alley, trying to have kavanah. You mitpalel and people are over or crossing the mitpalel. It's also practical when you go to shul, never pray by the door. People are passing by in front of the mitpalel. By the way, if somebody is blocking you, too bad, because he has no right to take away the space, so as if he's not there.
Ma?
Yeah.
So you can walk, you're saying?
If you're blocking a
Don't do it to others, but if somebody else did it to you, and you have no choice, you gotta leave shul, and he's praying at the door, people over. So on here, he has no right to take the space. It's not his own place, it's a public space to go through. So we said a lot of makom, it doesn't take the place, and therefore you can go through. Okay. Say it again? Yeah. So that's halacha, but on that, if he has no choice, if the shul is packed, let's say. Usually it's happened for those who are coming late to tefillah, so they stuck at the entrance. Okay. ורבי ירמיה יחי אבי דחי, no, I'm not hinting yet. ורבי ירמיה יחי אבי דחי, how did רבי ירמיה did that? A student praying behind his Rebbe. ואמר רבי דומר רב, רבי יעשה בן of רב, לעולם מה מתפלל אדם, לא כנגד רבו. They may not allowed to pray in front of his Rebbe, because if ולא אחורי רבו, not behind his Rebbe, because he looks like they are equal, we are the same, praying on the same area, same place. והתניא was מקפיד with the Rosh Hashiva not to sit around them. In yeshiva. Side by side and not behind, to think they are equal. ותני רבי אליעזר אומר, המתפלל אחורי רבו, somebody diving behind his rabbi, והנותן שלום לרבו, somebody who says שלום to his rabbi, like anybody, שלום, what's up? You have to say שלום עליך רבי, רש"י אומר. To give a different type of that.
Noted.
והמחזיר שלום לרבו, רבי say שלום, שלום say, what's up, yo? I mean, you don't respect it with respect. והחולק על ישיבתו של רבו, somebody who arguing on the, when the rabbi says something and he's arguing him in public, ואומר דבר שלא שמע מפי רבו, somebody said something didn't hear from his rabbi, גורם לשכינה שתסתלק מישראל, because they're causing divine presence to go away from עם ישראל. So how can רבי ירמיה daven behind his rabbi? כמו זה, שאני רבי ירמיה ברבא, the תלמיד, חבר רב, there are two types of תלמידים. there are two תלמידים שהם חברים, or are friends of the rabbi. In such a case, it's okay, so you're all my friends. והיינו דאמר לרבי ירמיה ברבא לרב, this is what רבי ירמיה said Rav, when he finished davening over there, was before Friday, before Shabbat. So when he finished davening, before Shabbat, he asked him, Mi badalta, did you separate yourself from doing any work? Because it was right before Shabbat. ואמר לי, in badilna, yes, I separate myself from work. ולא אמר מי בדיל מר, did the master separate from מלאכה? That's how you approach your Rebbe. So you see that he was his chavrusa who learned from him, not an official student. Therefore, it's okay to talk to him as a friend, and it is okay to be behind him. I think it's an enormous message, you know, in relationships. Sometimes people are trying to overreact in a relationship. I mean, if you're his friend, don't approach him as a Rebbe. But then it is your friend, and people need to keep relationship of friends as well. Rav Yirmiyah was giant, he could have approached to Rav as a Rebbe, as my master, but also Rav needs friends. So he needs people to relate to as a friend, so he never relate to him as a friend. The Gemara says, Umi Badil, did he really separate from Melacha? That sounds like if somebody prays early before Shabbat, he needs to separate from Melacha before sunset. ועם הרבה בן רבה בן said, פעם אחת one time, התפלל רבי של שבת בערב שבת, רבי דאבין early, before sunset, ונכנס למרחץ. Afterwards he went to the shower. He went to the bathhouse, not shower, the bathhouse, ויצא, he came out, ושנה לנו פרקין, and he taught us the learning the משניות, ועדיין לא חשיכה, it wasn't dark yet, so you see, he went to shower, you're not allowed to take shower on Shabbat, and he went to shower on Shabbat, המורה ולא, ההוא over there, he didn't go to the bathhouse to take shower out there, נכנס להזיע, came just to sweat over there, בקודם גזרה, before the decree, because to sweat on Shabbat it's mutar. The Gemara says in Shabbat there was evolution of the gzerot because people used to take shower on Shabbat and they heat the water and they said it was cold before Shabbat. Right. So they refused gzerot and people used to come, okay, no shower and hot water. People used to come and it's okay to sweat in the shower. People used to come, they said, we came to sweat, but they really were taking a shower. There was a gzera, decree, you don't sweat in a shower on Shabbat, nothing. So this, when Rav entered to a shower, just to sweat was before the decree that you're not allowed even to go to a bathhouse to sweat on Shabbos. But if you walk from home to here, you're allowed to sweat. Okay. The Gemara says, it's not true. Va'abai yeshar ele Rav Dimi bar Livai, Rav Yirmiyah, for me, to Rav Dimi bar Livai, you prayed before Shabbat, before sunset, in Tfilot of Shabbat, he permitted him likvuris salaye. He permitted him, I think, to smoke the basket, to smoke a certain process and work to do on a Friday. So he permitted to him, after the tefillah of Shabbat that he prayed, he permitted him to do so. But you said you see that he didn't separate, but we said you are supposed to separate after tefillah of Shabbat from melacha. The Gemara says, you know why he permitted him? Because when he prayed, he thought that it's already sunset. So basically, he accepted Shabbat upon himself by mistake. So that's why it's not considered as if it's except Shabbat. And therefore, he said, Machulecha, you know, you mutar, and you're allowed, because we have watches. Look on the following case. The Gemara says, V'ta'ut ami adra, by a mistake. After plug, but it was a mistake, he thought it's already sunset. So it was Kabbalat Shabbat b'ta'ut. So the Gemara says, "V'ta'uta mi adra," and a mistake. Rashi said, "He didn't have his mind to accept Shabbat." The Gemara says, "V'ta'uta mi adra." Here we see, he told them, "Okay, you're allowed to do melacha, and then you need to go again to shul and pray." נכון? מה? אם אתה עושה, so it's not considered as tefillah.
So mincha wouldn't have counted?
The mincha is the Arvit not. The Arvit of Shabbat, it's not counted.
Well, he would pray the Arvit twice.
he will have to pray Arvit after sunset.
Really?
So that, I mean, he never prayed Arvit. That Arvit was a mistake, Arvit. He
But
never took upon
essentially,
himself Shabbat.
Otherwise, you can bring Shabbat in early. He brought in Shabbat.
He didn't want it, it was a mistake.
Yeah.
But he did. He prayed.
No,
he
he
did.
thought it's after
thought
sunset.
sunset.
In his mind, it was the wrong time. So therefore, to accept
In his
Shabbat
mind,
early...
he wanted to Shabbat. In his mind, he wanted Shabbat.
לא, in his mind, to accept Shabbat early, you need קבלה.
Yeah.
לקבל שבת, נכון? That's what we מקפיד. לבוא לבית כנסת מוקדם on Friday, you know what I mean? And to accept Shabbat before שקיעה, then you have early Shabbat. זה נקרא תוספת Shabbat. You got to add on Shabbat. So he wanted to do תוספת Shabbat, but not so much תוספת.
Imagine an hour and a half
know,
before.
yeah,
you don't
But
even
the point is,
know.
עשית.
He stuck in,
He didn't know.
but it was a
It
mistake.
was a mistake,
The
bro.
only thing you want to accept Shabbat only after sunset. So that considered as a mistake.
Okay.
The Gemara says the ta'uta mihadra is a mistake goes back. We have a story the mistake didn't go back. V'amar Avidan said, פעם אחת, one time, התקשרו שמיים באבים. The sky was very cloudy. וסבורים העם לומר חשיכה הוא, they thought it's already dark. ונכנסו לבית הכנסת, they went into shul, והתפללו, they prayed של מוצאי שבת בשבת. It was a Shabbat and they pray already, ערבית מוצאי שבת, אז אנחנו נתנו. Afterwards, ונתפזרו האבים, and then the clouds scattered away, וזרחה חמה, the sun rise again, השתבח שמו. Whoop, no cell phones. הוא בא ושאלו את רבי, they came to ask Rabbi, wow, what can we do, what should we do? ואמר, הואיל והתפללו, התפללו. If you prayed already, it's fine. Even though it was a mistake. We said by mistake you're supposed to go back. You never thought to do it. מורה אנצור לו, שייני ציבור, דלא מטריחינן. ציבור, to re-pray again, we are not מטריח. יחיד, an individual, to re-pray again, we are מטריחים. Go pray again.
צריך לחכות לשקיעה של
חכות לשקיעה, obviously. לתת שבת.
No, if it was in a tzibur, it's okay.
Yeah, they don't need to repeat again. No, by the way, practical level, if somebody wants to pray Arvit or Motzei Shabbat before sunset, you can do it. We're going to see that in the next Gemara. אמר רב חייא
אבל צריך
ברבי,
לחזור ולהתפלל לבד.
לא צריך להתפלל. אם הוא מתכוון להתפלל מוקדם, זה עובד. כבר נראה את זה במקרה הבא. אמר רב חייא ברבי, רב צה"לי של שבת, if you have to catch a flight, רב צה"לי של שבת בערב שבת. רב prayed שבת on Friday. רב אשי מסלי של מוצאי שבת בשבת. You can do plug even on for Sunday or מוצאי שבת on שבת. כמו אצל רב צה"לי של שבת בערב שבת, יפרה שבת בערב שבת, אומר קדושה על הכוס, או לא, does he say after קידוש on a cup or not, או אינו קדושה על הכוס, תשמע דאמר רב נחמן אמר שמואל, זה said, מתפלל אדם של שבת בערב שבת, even can pray שבת on Friday, ואומר קדושה על הכוס, and he said קדושה on the cup, והלכתה כבתי. So you're going to say תפילה before, and after sunset you're going to say קידוש. No, I'm sorry, even before sunset, you're going to say Kiddush. Rav Yeshaya was opposite Matzli shel Motzei Shabbat בשבת. We pray Motzei Shabbat in Shabbat. אומר הבדלה על הכוס, או אינו אומר הבדלה, כי he says הבדלה on the course on Shabbat itself. תשמע, רבי דאמר שמואל, מתפלל אדם של מוצאי שבת בשבת, ואומר הבדלה על הכוס. Don't light the candles.
Right.
Don't light the candles, but you can say הבדלה on the cup.
Even while it's still Shabbat? While it's still Shabbat?
Yes. אמר רב זיירה, אמר רב אסי, אמר רב לזר, אמר רב חנינא, אמר רב, בצד עמוד זה, by the side of this pole, התפלל רבי שמואל רבי יוסי, he prayed של שבת בערב שבת. We have a testimony people that רבי שמואל ורבי יוסי prayed של שבת בערב שבת. כי היה תאולה בנו לקם, he says לא, בצד תמרה ולא בצד עמוד. It was next to a palm tree, not next to a pole. דבר ראשון. דבר שני, ולא רבי שמואל ורבי יוסי היה, אלא רב לזר ורבי יוסי, was somebody else בכלל. was the son of רבי יוסי, רב לזר ורבי יוסי. ולא של שבת בערב שבת אבי. It wasn't שבת on Friday, rather, אלא של מוצאי שבת בשבת אבי. It was מוצאי שבת in Shabbat. So the story wasn't accurate for the three reasons. I would assume it's a different story, you know? אחי, three of them, but whatever. So הלוך למעשה, you're allowed to pray earlier. You shouldn't have never, בעזרת השם, to pray של מוצאי שבת בשבת. But in case, if somebody לא על אף אחד is a mourner, אבל, only on שבת, onen, I'm sorry. If somebody passed away in his family, only on Shabbat, Gil, his father passed away on Shabbat. So I told him to do so, to do the tefillah of Motzei Shabbat already on before sunset.
So that way when Shabbat gets out,
Because Shabbat Gelo is patur already. Onen patur from all of the tefillot.
Right.
So you can at least chap the tefillah of Shabbat, of Motzei Shabbat while it's Shabbat. And also Avdala without...
How long before? How long before can you do it?
No, plug המנחה.
Oh, okay.
From plug you can do it. So he did
Wow.
it like 20 minutes before. Yeah, he did it so you can chop at least arvit, because afterwards you're going to be patur.
But essentially, by saying the tefillah, you're saying Amavdud ben Kodesh Lechol, you're saying Atachon Antanu, you're exclaiming Shabbat out. So
You can say after Lana Kosi.
isn't that like kind of like a contradiction? Like,
You're right, but you can do it. You're right, the essence
and then
of it.
essentially you would still keep Shabbat.
Yeah, on the tzad, it is
And
Chabad,
then
because
once the minute's out, you
the
can
Gemara
stop.
said, we said earlier, 2 days ago, David Kamaravi, David Kamaravi. You can practice, you can say that the day ends hour before on plag or by sunset. So either way you can treat it, but regarding the Oraita, you should be machmir. Regarding the Rabbanan, you can be lenient. תפילת הערב, רבי יהודה, the Mishnah says, אין לה קבע. There is no set time. מה אין לה קבע? There is no set time for it. לא קבוע. It's not permanent. אילה אם מדיבה מצליקו ללילה. If the message is they can pray all night long, הוא אומר, ליתנה תפילת הערב כל הלילה. Talk to me in Hebrew. תפילת הערב all night long. מה עכשיו אין לה קבע? אלא, מה אין לה קבע? כמאן דאמר תפילת ערבית, רשות. עכשיו it's optional. It's not חובה. אדם רבי אמר, שמואל תפילת ערבית, רבן גמליאל אומר, it's חובה. החייב, רבי יהושע אומר, רשות, ליצה שנה. למה רבי ההלכה כדברה אומר חובה? ההלכה למעשה ערבית היא חובה, ורבא אמר דת ההלכה למעשה כדברה אומר, רשות, ליצה שנה. Not optional to pray, there is some other optional meaning to it, beyond today, this Tosfot explain. Right, so optional doesn't mean optional completely. Tosfot explain that it's optional where there is another mitzvah, the other mitzvah will override, will be more chashuv than arvit. But it's not that you have, לא בא לי, I don't want to pray arvit today.
We learned yesterday that someone who doesn't pray Avich, Hamita. In a different Gemara it says it. I think it was... yeah.
Tanu Rabbanan. Now we go into a nice story. Rabbi Isai and Joey start drinking. Tanu Rabbanan. מעשה בתלמיד אחד was one student. did I skip? No. שבא לפני רבי יהושע, כן, לפנות את רבי יהושע. אמר לו, תפילת ערבית רשות או חובה? How is ערבית? מה ערבית? רשות או חובה? אמר לו, רשות. יצא רשות, בא לפני רבן גמליאל, when he came in front of רבן גמליאל, אמר לו, תפילת ערבית רשות או חובה? אמר לו, חובה. Classic, Rabbi said this, Rabbi said that. The difference was that Rabban Gamliel was the Nasi, was the president of the Halacha and authority in Am Yisrael, and Rabbi Shah was one of the guys, the students. So he got in trouble. אמר לי, so this Talmid says, והלא רבי יהושע אמר לי, who was the Talmid? The Gemara said somewhere else who was the Talmid. בוא נראה שנייה, תלמיד אחד.
זה רבי שמעון בר יוחאי.
רבי שמעון בר יוחאי, יפה מאוד. עכשיו, רבי שמעון בר יוחאי, יש כבוד, אחי, זה תלמיד. אמר לו,
כתוב פה.
ואותו תלמיד רבי שמעון בר יוחאי, כן. אמר לו, so when he asked רבן גמליאל, the נשיא, he said, חובה, אמר לב, לא רבי יהושע, אמר לי רשות, רבי יהושע אותו מז רשות, basically threw him under the boss, you know, אחי, מה אתה מסבך, you know, אמר לו, יאללה, המתן, חכה, I'm going to show him, עד שיכנסו בעלי תריסים לבית המדרש, תתחיל לא תלמידי תריסים, these people who are arguing and battling in הלכה, תלמידי חכמים, יגעו איתו בית המדרש, כשנכנסו בעלי תריסים, when they came in, עמד השואל, ושאל, so רבי שמעון בר יוחאי stood up and asked, תפילת ערבית רשות או חובה? אמר לו רבן גמליאל חובה. אז חובה. אמר לרבן גמליאל, לחכמים, כלום יש שחולק בדבר הזה, is anybody arguing? אמר לרבי יהושע, לא, nobody. אמר לו, יאללה, מה, כבר לא משמך, אמרו לי רשות. They told you by your name it's רשות. מה אתה עכשיו מבלבל את המוח? אמר ליהושע, עמוד על רגליך והעידו בך, stand up, and they will testify on you. רבי שמעון בר יוחאי gonna say, אמר רבי יהושע ואמר רגליו, he stood up, ואמר, אלמלא אני חי והוא מת, if I would be alive and רבי שמעון בר יוחאי would be dead, יכול החי להכחיש את המת. A live person can say, oh, never happened, and nobody can contradict him. ועכשיו, unfortunately, שאני חי והוא חי, he's also alive, I'm in trouble. איך החי יכול להכחיש את החי? How is the live person can contradict the live person? Very interesting on the way you analyze
yeah, it's a very...
beyond the Amud Hayomi discussion, but it's a point. מה אתה אומר? חובה, לא, חובה.
Rather than just say, yeah, so...
חובה, חובה.
מה יהיה לקבע? רבן גמליאל אומר, חובה.
לא, כן, חובה. אמרתי, היה רבן גמליאל לוקס, או רבי יהושע was standing, חובה. רבי יהושע was standing, היה רבן גמליאל יושב ודורש, רבן גמליאל was sitting and giving a shiur, ורבי יהושע like פרייר עומד על רגליו. He's standing in the middle of the shul, of the shiur. אשר עיננו כל העם, everybody said, wow, what's going on, man? This guy has respect, you know? אמרו לחוצפית התורגמן, you to translate and elaborate, explaining the words of the רבן גמליאל. עמוד, stop translating. Ve'amad, and he stopped. Amre, they said to each other, Ad kama nitzara v'nizel. How much Rabbi Gamliel going to suffer Rabbi Yoshua? בראש השנה השתקד, ראש השנה last time was a מחלוקת, he gave him a hard time. צערי, he suffered him. בבכורות, in מסכת בכורות, במעשה בסורב רבי צדוק צערי, he suffered Rabbi Yoshua. Achanami צערי, now also he is giving him hard time. He said, that's it, no more. We cannot have a president giving hard time to Rabbi Yoshua, Tza v'nabri. Let's go and we'll take him out from his position, no more Nasi. Manukim le, they said, who are we going to put the Nasi instead of? Rabbi Gamliel. Nukim Rabbi Yoshua, if Rabbi Yoshua, you can. Bal Maasehu, the story was with him, you feel more, take a revenge, you will feel so angry at him. Nukim Rabbi Akiva, let's let Rabbi Akiva, maybe you're going to have Kpeda on him, he's going to punish him, the letless Chutavot, he doesn't have the merit of fathers. אלא נוקמל רבי אלעזר בן עזריה, let us, רבי אלעזר בן עזריה to do the job, למה? הוא חכם, it's a smart guy, והוא עשיר, he's rich, והוא עשירי לעזרה, he's a 10th generation to עזרה. הוא חכם, it's important, why? כי מקשילי, מפרק לי, he's going to question him to show him that he's wrong, he's going to answer him back. והוא עשירי, he's rich, ויאתי לי, ידעית לי לפלוחה לבי קיסר, they will complain about him to the קיסר, to the governor, אף הוא עזל, הוא פה הלך. He can also take care of and bribe the Kaisar, the governor. והוא עשירי לעזרה, in the 10th generation, the עזרה, דית לזכות אבות, he has the merit of his fathers, ולא מצי אני שלי, he cannot punish him. Two, they went to Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, ואמרו להם, they asked him, ניחא לי למר דלאה ורש מטיבתא, do you want to be ראש ישיבה, the נשיא? אמר לו, איזל וימלך באנשי ביתי. Unbelievable. We're learning from here. Number one, he said, no, he didn't say, let me ask my wife. Let me consult at home. Whatever you consult with your wife, not everybody needs to know what you've been through and she agree or disagree. Let me consult at home and I'll be back. Don't mention I need to ask my wife.
But he means ask my wife.
It means, but don't say that. Because when men do decisions, don't blame your wife. If your wife says something and you disagree with her, tell her, I'm sorry, you're wrong. If you disagree, if you agree, tell her you're right, you come back, okay, this is what I want. No, but my wife will complain.
Don't throw under the bus.
No. You are a man. If you agree with your wife, say what you agree. So this is you. If you disagree, tell her you disagree with her, but don't bring her into the story and tell her, I'm sorry, because of my wife. I met a guy to work for us. You know, my wife was not happy with the salary. I'm like, I'm not hiring your wife, I'm hiring you. She's not going to be happy.
You resolve it at home?
Take her to therapy. It's not my problem. But I mean, be a man. Okay. The story continues interesting. Azal, the English Bedevito, when he asked his wife. Amrale, she told them, come and wife's response. No, don't do it. Dilma, me'abrin lach. They're going to make you a nasi now because it was balagan, politics. In a few months from now, things are going to be better. And they're going to take you back. So what's the point? Amar la lishtamesh inish yom achad bekasa de moraka. There is a concept. A man should lose even one day. You have a crystal glass that's very fragile. People don't want to use it. They say use it until it breaks. So people say use it for one day. Tomorrow it's going to break. It's fine. At least I have the zchut to be a president one day. Amrale, she told them, let la chivarta. You look like a young kid. What's wrong with you? You black, you was 18 years old, black beard. מה אתה רוצה? ההוא ימה, on that day, ברתם נסרי שאני אבי. It was יום הולדת שלו. She said, היום יום הולדת, and he looks good. Okay, התרחיש לניסה, a miracle happened in the morning. ועד רולי תמן הסרי דרי חיברת. And he had 18 white lines of beer. I want to see his wife's face. I promise you, she regret asking me. She was 18, suddenly 70. I know the Kamar Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. This is what Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah says. In the Mishnah, הרי אני כבן 70 שנה, I'm like 70 years old, ולא בן 70 שנה. He didn't say I am 70 years old because he wasn't like it. It bothers me. But the scientist was like, what's going on over here? His wife complained, and therefore Hashem makes miracles? What's going on? So we're thinking the following. Basically, משהו עם העמקס. בסדר, פשט ככה. They choose him to be in the Bet Midrash. They knew who was Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Because everybody knew him, the Bet Midrash. Jewish Talmid Chacham, like the Yenuka, you know? He said, once in a while, you have 18 years old, b'nai inara.
Who's special, right?
Talmid Chacham. She told them, but they appoint you in the Bet Midrash. She said, let me ask at home. מה זה אנשים בבית? let me see how would I be perceived outside of the Bet Midrash. You offer me hijab in the Bet Midrash, but I'm not limited, then I see it's outside hijab. He went to his wife as an outsider's. What do you think? She said, there is a problem. Your image doesn't match who you are. In the Bet Midrash, it was okay. But outside, it's a problem.
They don't know
You look young.
No, you
Not
look
gonna
young.
respect.
So there is something wrong. What you present, it's
mismatch.
not you. It's a mismatch. That's why Hashem made a miracle. Because when you're somebody, you got to look according to who you are when you're in a position. It's important in general way. You know, people in yeshiva, I don't want to put a hat and jacket. I don't want to wear a certain type of dress. Lama? Who cares? No, Hashem made a miracle to match the face with the picture. Hashem did such a miracle because it's important. We got to walk and behave. And we cannot say, I don't care. You know, I'm walking, you know, me as a rabbi, I'm going to walk with a shirt and t-shirt. Clothing is not the most important thing. No, we have a responsibility that you outside will show the position that you are inside.
What
I'm
about
trying
a
to
tunic,
emphasize.
Rabbi?
Got to say the position, huh?
What about a tunic,
Let me put
Rabbi?
a tie first. So it's a position. By the way, it's important. It's a position. You have a position. You have a role. You need to match it. Ad kan for Chav Zayin Amud Aleph.